Hello, welcome to Custom OGT. I am OGT, that is OGL. We are glad you're here. We are returning to Mr. Elvis Aaron Presley and the song that kickstarted everything for him, really. Put him in the mainstream.
Yes, definitely his. A lot of people consider this a signature song. It's so there's a number of different versions of it. We're reacting to one from 1956. It's pretty short, but Danny's got some pretty interesting context as far as
The King and His Country Heart.
The King's Country Heart, Condensed History. Introduction. The Ghost and the Home. The story of Elvis Presley and country music is framed by two powerful moments. The first is in 1954, when a nervous 19-year-old is met with a flat, quiet rejection after his one and only performance at the Grand Ole Opry, the Temple of Country Music 1. Later that night, country titan Ernest Tubb advised him, "Make your money, then you can do what you want to do, too." The second moment is in the final hours of his life in 1977, when the last song he ever sang was the classic country ballad Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain 3. Country music was the ghost that haunted his career and the home to which he always returned for. 1. The Hillbilly Cat's Dream. Before he was the king, Elvis was a hillbilly cat whose only dream was to be a country star 5. The Opry Ritual. Growing up in the rural South, his family gathered around the radio every Saturday to listen to the Grand Ole Opry, embedding the sound and themes of country deep in his soul. 6. First performance. At age 10, his first public performance was singing the Red Foley country classic Old Shep at a talent contest. 7. Early mentorship. He actively sought out a local hillbilly star named Mississippi Slim to learn the craft and get on the air. 8. An emotional anchor. After his family moved to the intimidating city of Memphis, country music became his connection to home, a source of comfort and identity. 9. 2. The Nashville Crossroads 2 Permissions. His debut at the Grand Ole Opry on October 2, 1954, was a pivotal failure. 10. The conservative audience rejected his high-energy R&B-infused version of Bill Monroe's Blue Moon of Kentucky. 11. However, two crucial conversations followed. Financial permission. Ernest Tubb gave him a blessing to chase the money his new sound was generating. 12. Artistic permission. Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass, stunned Elvis by telling him he loved his arrangements so much he was re-recording the song in Elvis's style. 13.
So, we had a lot of information. We already have a 2-hour recorded thing of this, just going over nothing but this entire story leading up to Heartbreak Hotel. And all I was trying to do is, I heard a lot of similarities in the song and The Lost Highway by Hank Williams. It seemed like Heartbreak Hotel was a destination on the Lost Highway. And admittedly, Hank didn't write the song, or neither did Elvis. So I thought that blew my theory out of the water, but I found out that the writers of the song did look at it as a stop on the Lost Highway. So my intuition was correct on that. So, and Elvis's country roots are way more than I thought. But as bad as he's got demonized by the black community, he's also been demonized by the Country Music Association. Not the people in it, but the association. And so he didn't know which way to turn. I mean, Elvis was totally lost. But there's a lot. I didn't know that he was a hillbilly cat either. I had no idea. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard anyone call him that. And that was definitely his nickname all the way up at the beginning of his career. So
it is fascinating how a lot of icons, Elvis in particular, but seem to be their status is almost always formed in some part by an early rejection by an establishment. I mean, even something as simple as Black Sabbath. I think I remember it was Ozzy that said they started playing louder just to wake everybody up because they were just a blues band before that. First, like Elvis, I can only imagine like the heartbreak you want growing up watching the Opry, and then you get your chance to stand on that stage, that you've dreamed of, your entire young life, and then to get rejected. That had to absolutely kill him. But then the redemption of being told by the
I promise you, I'm gonna get the chair fixed. I promise.
writer of a song that you did, that your version was great. Just the
Not
peaks
only,
and valleys, most definitely, very extreme.
not only was it great, but he redone his own song to Elvis's cadence. So
Yes, you could not get a better compliment than that on your work. So
we're gonna watch the older version of Heartbreak Hotel, and then there's a whole piece of. So we have a lot of this context that has to do with nothing but the comeback special, and that's what we'll do next time. So now we'll jump into the older version now. I guess this is the original 1956 version.
yes, sir.
All right, let's do the King.
Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street at Heartbreak Hotel. I'll be so lonely, baby. Well, I'm so lonely. I'll be so lonely I could die. Although it's always crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry there in the gloom and be so, baby, so lonely, baby. They're so lonely. Well, they're so lonely they could die. Now the bellhop's tears keep flowing, the desk clerk's dressed in black. Well, they've been so long on Lonely Street, they'll never look back. And they're so lonely, baby. Well, they're so lonely. Well, they're so lonely, and they're afraid to die.
Oh. This is the crowd. I didn't know that he had changed the words to "pray to die." That makes a lot more sense because in the Man with Broken Hearts, a heart will pray for death. So that even goes further along with it. But the movement, man. I mean, nobody's gonna care about the fucking lyrics. They seen that boy move. I mean, that's all was to it. But yeah.
The audio on this,
man, it's so low, man. You know what? It's like
it's
really
not the
low.
best, and this is like turned up all the way. So we apologize for that. But man, you can sure hear those girls screaming.
No doubt.
Yeah. I like the simple backing of the drums, the upright bass, and the guitar. I like Elvis has got so much personality and sass in his voice. If you just listen to the lyrics, they are very heartbreaking, but Elvis puts so much pizzazz and personality into it. It becomes fun. So it's almost like a redemptive thing. He's taking pain and turning it into something that actually makes you want to sing along, to scream your head off, to attempt to do whatever the hell he's doing with his lower body. My legs don't bend that way, never did. So yeah, it's an interesting exercise essentially in turning sadness into like exaltation. It's almost like you can sort of tell his gospel roots there. It's very shout to the heavens kind of thing. It's almost like I'm depressed, but I'm going to I'm lonely, but I'm still going to sing at the top of my lungs and make you all smile. So it's you can sort of see how it became his signature piece just because of that. Sometimes if you're sad, you just need to shout it out at the top of your lungs, and it'll make you feel better.
Yeah, I think the bellhop wearing black was Johnny Cash. By the way, Johnny Cash is about the only other person I've seen who could move like Elvis when the impersonation thing. Not exactly, but he done a damn good job.
Johnny Cash's Elvis.
I've never seen Johnny Cash move like that. Yeah. And they were pretty close at this time. They toured together. It goes into it quite more than the movie did. Put it that way. The actual history, if you look it up. And Yeah, they both were members of that Heartbreak Hotel and that Lost Highway. They both had their sadness, and they both were huge fans of Hank Williams. So, yeah.
If your baby leaves you in black, well, they've been so long along the street, they'll never look back. They're so lonely, baby. Well, they're so lonely. They're so lonely, and they're afraid of dying.
Mm-hmm. No.
Well, if your baby leaves you, you got a tale to tell. Well, just take a walk down on the street to Heartbreak Hotel. You'll be so lonely, baby. Well, you'll be lonely. You'll be so lonely, you could die. Well,
So that was 56, you said?
Believe so.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I was loving the drum kit, where it's just 2 drums and 2 cymbals. As simple as can be. The reverse Danny Carey, if you were.
Cello's something good too, man.
Oh yeah. That upright bass is like, I would not want to have to lug that up and down a tour schedule though. If nothing else, it's probably good for building upper body strength. And if someone gives you any crap, you hit them with that thing, they ain't getting back up. But
yeah.
And of course, Elvis's voice is just it's a natural wonder. I like how no matter how low he takes his volume, he doesn't lose his connection. It doesn't become like airy or disconnected. I like how he's got a very fast, almost nervous sounding vibrato, which works for a song like this where there's so much heartbreak. And he's got so much cut without having a whole lot of nasality. You'd have to put this in front of Elizabeth Yaroff for a vocal coach to get the lowdown. I just know he's using a lot of techniques to make a really fun, engaging sound that is just so full of charisma and personality that it will embed itself in your ears. Like, his legend is there's a reason for it.
The country institution rejected him, but a country creator validated him, setting him on a new path. 14,141,414. 3. The irony of the New Kingdom. Shut out of the Opry, Elvis became a star on the more progressive Louisiana Hayride, which is where he met Colonel Tom Parker, 15. In a supreme irony, he achieved his first #1 hit on the country charts with I Forgot to Remember to Forget just before...
I forgot to remember to forget.
And if that's not a country song title, I don't know what is.
I had no idea Elvis's first #1 hit was a country song. Nobody's ever told me that.
We're leaving for RCA 16. The greatest irony is that Heartbreak Hotel, the song that made him the king of rock and roll, was recorded in Nashville with the city's top session musicians, including Chet Atkins, who knew he was watching history being made. The city whose establishment rejected him provided the tools for his Revolution 18. 4. The King's Shadow, the Nashville Reckoning.
I bet a lot of diehard Elvis fans don't know that either. That Heartbreak Hotel was a bunch of country singers, country artists recorded in Nashville. I'm sure that right there wasn't, but the video for it or whatever. But yeah, I have no idea.
Elvis's global success triggered an existential crisis in Nashville 19. Radio stations switched to rock, and the Opry was soon playing to quarter-full houses, forcing the industry to reinvent itself to survive 20. The CMA, the Country Music Association, CMA, was formed in 1958 as a strategic defense to rebrand the genre for a modern audience.
The thing I personally have a big problem with is CMAs. Well, Elvis's defiance and badassness, still working with country singers in Nashville, up your ass, CMA, made them reformat their entire way of doing things.
It's always great when the prodigal son sort of brings down the house that rejected him.
You go, Elvis. That's the same that's the same people that kicked Hank out of the Opry 2 times, you know?
Yep.
And Elvis went right on it and gave him the big proverbial FU. And I like this about Chet Atkins, too. Chet Atkins was a big friend of Hank's. I mean, Hank passed away New Year's of 53, and this is 56. So this is very, very closely removed to Hank's death.
21. The Nashville sound. Producer Chet Atkins pioneered a new pop-oriented sound, stripping away fiddles and adding string sections to compete on mainstream Radio 22. In a profound paradox, the man Nashville rejected became the direct catalyst for the creation of modern, pop-oriented country music 23. 5. The prodigal son returns. Throughout his career, Elvis returned to country music as a creative refuge to rejuvenate his art. 24. The 68 comeback. After his career stagnated in Hollywood, he recorded the gritty country songs Guitar Man and U.S. Mail, which provided the spark for his legendary 68 comeback special 25. A last tilt at greatness. In 1970, he returned to Nashville's RCA Studio B for a marathon session that produced 3 albums of powerful country and soul, described as his last sustained tilt at greatness. A global tribute. During his 1973 Aloha from Hawaii special, broadcast to hundreds of millions, he paused to perform Hank Williams' I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, paying homage to a country hero. 27. Conclusion. An American trilogy. Elvis was a uniquely American synthesis of country, blues, and gospel. 28. As he once said, I don't sound like nobody. 29. He was from country music, but never fully of it, because his vision was too large for one genre. 30. Yet, his story is bookended by country. It began with a country song at a fair and ended with a country song at his piano. 31. It was his origin, his catalyst, and his final benediction. 32.
How they said he was from country music, but not of it. And I also love the idea that, as much as he, took that country sound and expanded upon it, energized it with, things that other parts of him that were also, the blues and the gospel and that sort of thing. He, a very personal synthesis of things that meant a lot to him. But it definitely seems like, in his soul, he was still, a hillbilly cat to the end, because it seemed like when he was, away from the people, away from the, the lights and the glamour and all that, he would go back to country music to sort of like find his grounding.
Well, and there's a lot more to come. We'll do it before the 68 special when we do it, but there's a lot more information. A lot more. So, I couldn't believe everything I found pre-Heartbreak Hotel up to Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah. It's a fascinating story, guys.
All right, man. Much love. We love you all. Thank you, Carolyn.
Yes,
and
thank you, Carolyn.
For Carolyn, by the way, if we didn't say that.
Yes. But thanks to all the Elvis fans who are showing up and commenting. We appreciate your support, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. This is hopefully showing a different side to an icon.
Or intentionally hidden.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
From
going back to Vail, if you will.
Probably from Colonel Tom Butthead or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, everybody? By the way, Colonel Tom Butthead was showed up by Hank. That's in the story too. A couple years before that. So, all right. What's up, everybody? Mental health is real.
Music is your best support group. Listen to it often.
Yes, man. Bye. Yes, sir. Bloopers. Remember when I got mad? Couldn't remember the word. Here it is. The shit, man, that I went and looked up. Whatever the hell you call it, man, the words.
The lore, the connection, the
no, man, the fucking data, man. God damn it. It's definitely called the research. Mental health is real. Great example of it. Have a good night, everyone. Much love.